Recording's in progress. That you couldn't tell. Hi there, me again. If you don't know who I am by now, well, Joseph Carrabas here. Listening to Pat Metheny. I'm pointing over this way instead of this way because we moved the stereo. Yes, we're that old. We actually still have stereos. I remember quadraphonic music. So that didn't last more than, I don't know, an hour, but it was out there. This is experiment 25, and it's going to be on accidental point of view shifts. I'm going to be reading some notes, so bear with me as I click away here. I'm in a critique group. God knows why they let me stay. But anyway, in a critique group, which I do recommend getting in a really good critique group. See my notes in my blog about good critique groups. Anyway, I'm in a critique group. Hi, Boo. My dog just came in. How you doing, you good dog? Go take a nap. Go lie down, you good boy. Yeah, I talk like that to my dog, too. So, anyway, I'm in a critique group. One of the people in the critique group is Liz Tuckwell, who, in my estimation, is a gifted author. I enjoy her work, therefore she must be gifted. She writes alternative history and fantasy, and I've enjoyed her work. Anyway, in the critique group that we're in, she sent something through, which was really good, and one paragraph in it really caught me. It confused me. The paragraph was, Tully found it hard to enjoy the food when he was tasting it for poison. Each mouthful of honeyed pork or spiced dove might be his last. That also applied to the excellent Jyptian wine he had to try. How he hated Tremulous for suggesting Tully could be his food taster. And I honestly, I doubt most people will catch that because it's very subtle. And for the majority of readers, they could care less. But I am a real asshole about craft. I was going to say I'm very anal-retentive about craft, but the truth is I'm really an asshole about it, which is not to say I'm any good at it, but I catch things. Anyway, here's the thing. Let's go through this again. Tully found it hard to enjoy the food he was tasting when he was tasting it for poison. That's a good line in third person limited omniscient point of view. The narrator is talking about Tully, sharing Tully's experiences with the reader. So Tully found it hard to enjoy the food when he was tasting it for poison. Third person, limited omniscient. Very good. Next line. Each mouthful of honeyed pork or spiced dove might be his last. That's also a very good line. But, is it third person limited omniscient, which was the previous line, or first person point of view? Each mouthful of honeyed pork or spiced dove might be his last. Is he realizing that? Is he thinking that? Which also means this could be in deep point of view. He could be aware of it. The catch here is each mouthful of honeyed pork or spiced dove, which is what he's doing, might be his last. That's kind of a clue that it's third person limited omniscient, but honeyed pork, mouthful, spiced dove, excellent descriptions, okay? Very good use of exposition to, exposition to, convey the sensory information about what's going on, but it could be in deep point of view. I personally love deep point of view. It allows me to get really deep inside the character and share that information with the reader or the listener. The great thing about deep point of view is you reveal so much through the characters' thoughts, through their monologue, their internal dialogue, their responses, unspoken responses to somebody else. something else is going on. It's great. Um, Here's another thing that's very specific to speculative fiction, and this is a very key feature. It's in speculative fiction. You won't find it in any other genres that I'm aware of. First person point of view in other genres is limited viewpoint by definition. Not so in speculative fiction. That's a key thing. In speculative fiction, first person point of view, whatever the person's abilities, they may be a normal person, and therefore a first person point of view, they're limited, they don't know what anybody else is thinking. You might have a character who has, as one reader commented about one of my characters, godlike or near godlike abilities. And if that character truly has godlike abilities, pretty much the story's over. Whatever gets thrown at them, whatever the challenge is, they got godlike abilities. Both, there we go, it's gone. You can't really do that. In my, I'm writing a series, much as I really never wanted to, the John Chance Mysteries. John Chance, his actual name is Gio Fortuna in Sicilian, but he Americanized it to be John Chance. He is trained in a bunch of esoteric disciplines, and as he learns more and more and more and practices more and more, his abilities grow. Does he have godlike abilities? Never being a god, I really couldn't tell you. So I don't know if they're godlike. They're pretty dang impressive, I guess. But the thing is, when you have that kind of ability, when you are Superman, when you're writing Superman, if they truly are super, they don't have anything that's going to challenge them. They, whatever it is, I'm Superman. Bullets don't bother me. I can find anything. I can look through stuff. So you have to give them weaknesses. Superman can't look through lead, for example. I don't know if that's true with the modern Superman, but they were when I was growing up with. And you have to develop kryptonite, or you have to create a supervillain who's kind of able to deal with Superman's abilities. In my case, John Chance Gio Fortuna, he, in the course of learning about how to do stuff, he is given some very hard and fast rules. Do not go where you're not invited. Do not do what you're not asked to do. How does this play into his having godlike abilities? He will not exercise them willy-nilly. As a matter of fact, Search, which is the first John Chance novel, do I have a copy here to show you? Well, not handy. Deal with it. I'll put a cover in the video. He self-imposes, and in the novel Search, one of the things that is made very clear when he speaks to someone else is, I have to obey these things. If I don't, I am doomed. He will basically, he recognizes that if he does not self-impose, that it's all over for him. And I'm not saying like he'll be destroyed. It's just, why should he exist anymore? How does this play with his having abilities and dealing with other characters? Well, because he has those self-imposed limits, before he'll do anything, even if somebody comes to him and says, please help me, he won't. He has to ask them 3 times. You sure you're going to do this? Yes. I'm going to ask you again. To be clear, you want me to do this? Yes, I do. I've said that. One more time so we both know. You would like me to do whatever it is. Yes, I'm asking you to do whatever it is. Okay, good. And that's, as he says, that's so that both of you, both he and the character he's dealing with, will totally understand it was their request. Okay. So now, last line of Liz's thing, that also applied to the excellent Jyptian wine he had to try, how he hated Tremulous for suggesting Tully could be his food taster. Those are both back in third person omniscient. Here was the big challenge for me in this. Going from third person limited omniscient to first deep is fine, because that's how people actually think. That's how they reason through things. They see something, they interact with it, and they cogitate, they muse about it. they go over it again, again, and again in their heads before they, plan or whatever. The challenge here, and what originally caught me was she goes down, the writing goes down, but comes up really rather abruptly. So it goes from third person limited, first person deep, back to third. That to me was what the real challenge was. And it kind of goes back to Into the Mythic, which we did, I believe, in the past two experiments. Because you have to, and this is from my background in therapeutics,